The Cat Concerto was released on April 26th. We've already talked about this one a lot. Now let's take a look at the story from MGM's point of view. Bill and Joe are working on a cartoon where Tom is a concert pianist performing Franz Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2. With Jerry sleeping inside the piano. When the playing disturbs him, the mouse interferes with the performance, creating chaos while the cat tries to continue playing for the audience. This was the first time they took the duo to a new setting that's a completely unique place where you wouldn't usually find a cat and a mouse chase. Then, for some reason, Technicolor sent MGM a copy of a Warner Brothers cartoon Friz Freleng was working on, Rhapsody Rabbit. They put it in, watched it. It looked and sounded very familiar. Now, if you take a look at Thad's reviews, which I have linked below, please definitely read those. He puts the production numbers on all the cartoons. So if you count it this way, this cartoon should have likely come out late in 1947 or early 1948. Yet it was ready to be presented with the 1946 cartoons for Oscar consideration. The Academy would take all the possible nominees and watch them in alphabetical order. So they see the Cat Concerto and later on the Bugs Bunny cartoon, the one that actually did come out in 1946. Needless to say, they were slightly perplexed and ended up giving the Oscar to MGM. Now, I have to imagine Friz reacted with his usual calmness and reason.
Dirty Turkish shark, a back flat, important frack, slack, back and slaughtered badger, pomeranian, frat, throated, man, bitter, squatty,
but he ended up getting the last laugh by winning the Oscar the next year and breaking the duo's streak, both Tom and Jerry and Bill and Joe. Now, I'm going to side with the argument that these two were created without each knowing of the other, and to me the only funny business was presenting Cat Concerto with the 1946 list of nominees. But it worked, and by the time the cartoon actually did come out, they were able to put Academy Award winner right on the title card, and this wasn't even a reissue print. As we've mentioned before, a lot of cartoons have used Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 before and since. Disney used it first in the Opry House, then again in Farmyard Symphony, and much later in It's Tough to Be a Bird, another Oscar winner. Columbia used it in Bars and Stripes, then later on in The Magic Fluke via UPA. Walter Lantz used it in The Candy House, The Athlete, Pin Feathers, and most famously for him in the Woody Woodpecker cartoon Convict Concerto, written by, of all people, Hugh Harman. Quick aside, Talker, did you ask Jerry about this in the Extras podcast? I mean, it's weird, we had just talked about it and then it pops up on the show. I'm going to include the link to the video below for you to hear Jerry's answer. I mean, it's only fair that Tim gets the views. This one's actually one of my favorite Woody Woodpeckers, along with Under the Counter Spy and Bunko Busters. Maybe at some point we'll get around to doing Woody. Warner's, of course, has a long history with the piece, mostly through Friz. Of course, there was Rhapsody and Rivets, Rhapsody Rabbit, a little bit in Back Alley Uproar,
Cha-cha-cha! Cha-cha-cha!
the segment from My Dream Is Yours, which was directed by Friz.
If you dawdle, I'm afraid you're gonna miss the big parade. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Wisecrackers, which we'll see soon in an upgraded version. And Ballot Box Bunny. It also showed up on a record called Daffy Duck's Rhapsody, which was turned into an animated film in 2012.
Hunters to the right of me, hunters to the left I see, over hill and over dale, bullets whizzing past my tail.
Which had not shown up on the Looney Tunes collection, likely because the record came out on Capitol. Now, MGM had also used it before, but not in a cartoon. It was part of the soundtrack for Anchors Aweigh. And speaking of movies, it was used as the piano piece that Donald and Daffy would play together in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So it's gotten a lot of attention over the years from all over the animation industry. Eric Goldberg does his usual solid job on the commentary, mixing in the story behind it all with what's actually on the screen. Now, this one's been a TV staple for decades. In fact, once on Boomerang, when they did like a 2-hour block of Tom and Jerry, it ended 1 hour of Tom and Jerry. They played another cartoon, and then they played this one again. That's how popular it is. Whew, this has been long for this one.